In this video, we will do a complete tour of how to use the Polar Critics Pro. If you want to see the short version of that video, you can click on the video just right here. Let's start with the most important things to understand before we start diving in. It's how to use the buttons. So basically, you've got 3 buttons on the right and 2 buttons on the left. If we look at the button on the right, those 2 are made to navigate and this one is made to select. So basically, this goes up, actually left on the main screen, and this one go right or lower on menu. So just like that, for example, see, going lower, going higher, and select. On the other side, you got a light button, the top one. It just turn on the backlight. And this one is the back button. So it let you come back most of the time. Because if you are on the main screen and you want to access the menu, you would have to press the back button to get inside that menu. And you would have to press that back button again to come back to the main page. Let's take a look at the first page. You got the date, the time. Actually, it says unknown media. This is my page to listen to music. You will find this page from the main page, and you will also find it into activity page. And basically, it's just made to play music on your phone. So if I make the music play like that, well, it starts my music on my phone. I can skip to the next song, I can come back to the previous song, and if I go here on the volume, if I press here, I can make the volume higher or lower. I can come back here and pause it. I would be able to press the music button again. In that case, it would be the same thing. And yeah, that's it for the music. So how do we go back to the main page? Press the back button. What other option we have? You got here the elevation. So that's the altimeter. So you got a few information here. You can calibrate it just right here. And yeah, you go up and down and you see more information into each page. What else is interesting? That's the sunset and sunrise one. So you can see that the sun will the sun will set at 1732, but will be visible up to 1802. That's the next occurrence, and you've got the sunrise time also for the day. You can update your location to have basically this is at the location you last record an activity, but you can update it so it will locate you, and you'll be able to know the time of the sunset or the sunrise for where you are. Next one, what do we have here? Your activity of the day, your heart rate. What's your high and low heart rate of the day so far? You got the weather. Do we have the weather? Oh, you got your nightly recharge, but actually I didn't wear it, so there is no information to see for me right now. And weather just right here. So you got the weather for the day, the highs and lows, the wind, and the forecast too. So yeah, that's it for the weather. Then let's see that button here. You got a page to start an activity. We will come back to this later. You got a breath exercise. You got Strava live segments. If you have a premium account with Strava, you can import segment and have information while you are running or cycling. Fluing will be information. I never try it, but basically it is an option to remind you to eat some carbs or drink when you are into an activity at some point after some time. Take a look at it. If it's something that interests you, it's just not something that interests me. If we go inside timer, you got the stopwatch and the countdown. So basically, if you want a countdown of, I don't know, 10 minutes and 10 seconds, you just select it. Maybe I did go a little bit fast on that one. And actually, it did start. But if I come back here, let's say I will cancel it. I select it. Cancel time. Yes, cancel. Okay, so you go up and down, as I told you before. Those two buttons are made to go up and down. So we start with the hour, and let's say 0 hour, 7 minutes, and 5 seconds. You select it to pass to the next one, and at the end you hit the check mark, and the timer is started. Just like that. Let's cancel it. The stopwatch is just most easier to use. You press the start button and it just start. When you press here, it will create a lap, and if you want to end it, you will press the back button. Just like that. Okay. Next one will be the watch face views. So all the pages that we have seen at the beginning, if there is some of them that you don't want to see, so for example, let's say I don't want to see the nightly recharge, I can just disable it and it will be gone. Then you've got test that are kind of exercise. I never tried it. And let's go to the settings. You got a lot of option inside here. So into general settings, you can pair and sync to your phone, the Polar application. That is where you do that. Continuous HR tracking. So if it's on, your heart rate at the back will be always on, and if you put it at night time only, well, you will have it. So basically, yeah, to save battery, save HR tracking to begin at earliest bedtime. So if you just want to track your heart at night, well, that's where you do that. Personally, I just leave it on. Let's go back to general settings. What else interesting we have? We've got a flight mode. If you want to enable that, I don't know why. The backlight settings. Okay, that one is interesting. Well, you can set it to high, medium, and low, and as you can see, high is clearer than low, and you can have with the light button only. So in this case, it would just never light up unless you press that light button. But when you are into low, medium, and high, it does turn on every time you press a button and every time you do a face-up movement to watch your watch. I will leave it to high. Then you've got the do not disturb schedule. So basically you can just set the time you don't want to be disturbed, so you don't receive notification from your phone on the watch. And when the do not disturb mode is enabled, when you do the face up movement, it doesn't light up the screen. You can enable your phone notification or not. You can disable the music control if it's something that you don't want to use and just never want to see it into any activity. You can change your unit between metric and imperial. You can change the language. You can change inactivity alerts. That's a fun one. So the way it works is that Polar wants you to move at least a bit every hour. So after 55 minutes of total inactivity, it will tell you, well, you have 5 minutes to do something, or you're going to have an inactivity step. If you like it, keep it on. It is on by default. If you don't, well, you can put it to off just right here. Then you've got vibration. Do you want to have it or not? On what hand you wear the watch? Here you can select the GPS you want to use. So every time it will be the GPS, but you can also use Galileo, GLONASS, and QZSS. If you don't have trouble, just keep with the default one. GPS plus Galileo works totally fine for me. And if you want to have more information about your watch, well, that's where you can have it. Let's come back here in physical settings. You can adjust your weight, your height, your date of birth, your sex, your training background, those kind of things. Really simple things. And then the watch settings, you can turn on an alarm. If you want to wake up in the morning, that's where you set up the alarm. When you are into that, you can, well, set it to off, only ons, Monday to Friday or every day. You don't have any other custom option. That are the only option. But the alarm is pretty well made. It will start vibrating, and then it will start ringing, and then it will just go higher for a minute. Yeah, it's a very well made alarm. I just don't like the part that you can't make it custom. Then you've got your watch face settings. This is very limited and poorly done. If we go into digital, well, you choose if you want to have it digital or analog, and then you can select the kind of screen you want to have, but you're not able to see it just right now. So if you select it, you need to come back to the main page to see what it looks like. And if you want to change it again, you need to come back here, go down in the very bottom settings, go down here, and then again go into watch face and change it again. It's kind of painful. Then you've got the actual time. From here, you can also select it if you want it in AM, PM, or 24-hour mode, and then you are invited to input the time, but you don't really need to do that part because it's synced with your phone. Then we've got the date. We've got the first day of the week. If you want it to be Monday, Saturday, or Sunday, that's totally up to you. And that's made the tour for that part. So let's come back here to that start training. What do we have inside here? You can use the up and down button to select the activity you want to start. So let's say that I want to do a trail running. You do have some more information into the gear button just right here if you want to use power save. If you're running out of battery and want to be less consuming to have more time of battery, you can go into that feature. You got your backlight setting here. You got share hearth rate with other devices. So basically, if you are into an activity that, let's say for example, you are Zwifting on your indoor bike and you want to share the hearth rate of the watch to Zwift, you can enable that feature and your watch will become Bluetooth hearth rate monitor. You got a training suggestion. If you want to take a look at that, you got race pace. That's a very funny one. So let's say I want to do a 5 kilometers in 30 minutes. That's a perfect example. Again, you just select the time with the up and down button. You pass to the next to go to the seconds, and then finally you select it. So right now I would have to run 5 kilometers in 30 minutes. What was the other option? There was, if you want to do interval here, you can choose your interval. If you want to set yourself a timer, that will be inside here. Time base or distance base, that's totally up to you. If you want to have a countdown route, if you have create route, we will see that into another video. But if you create route inside Komoot and want to share it to your watch so you can follow a track you have created, you can find your route inside here. All there, so you just select it and you can follow it. You can go back to start. That's not really relevant right now because the activity is in start, but we will come back to that later. We have access to that gear menu when we are inside the activity. So you select the activity just right here, and there's one thing I have to mention is that if you want to do a multi-sport activity like a 3-athlon or something like that, you really have to start the activity as a multi-sport activity. Otherwise, you're not able to change it and make it a single activity. So let's come back to that. That was trail running. So let's start trail running. You press the right button just right here. Before you start, here you can see that you have actually the GPS is not really connected, but it's normal. I'm inside. But I never wait for it. I just start the activity, and while walking, running, or cycling, whatever, it does find the signal quite quickly. That is the window we have up to have a bit earlier. That was the race pace. You see that's me not running actually and moving away from the center. When you are on the center, that means that your goal is achieved. And if you're on the left, you're late. And if you're on the right, you're in advance. Actually, you can see that I'm 30 seconds late. I have 4.99 kilometers left, and I would have an average time for completing the activity. If you use the up and down button, you will fall from a page to another. Those pages, you can modify it from the Polar website or the Polar apps. And yeah, you just see all of your information that you choose to have on the app for that activity. Again, you have your music page, and we come back to the first page. When you press the right button, you will create a lap. So if you want to record a lap, that's the button you need to press. And if you want to pause that activity, you will press the lower left button just right here. The activity is now paused, and it's paused. You have access now to that gear button. So if I press it now, going down, now I could go to that famous back to start, and you can have via beeline, so it will tell you, well, you need to go into that direction for this number of kilometers to go back to your starting point, or you can use via the same route. It is actually grayed out because I didn't move, but it would help you to follow the same track to come back to the start. Now, if you want to start back the activity, you will want to press the right button just right here. So the recording is continuing, as it says. And finally, if you want to put an end to that activity, you will want to press, again, the lower left button. And now to end it, you will press and hold it. And now it's saved. If you have done a big activity, it is automatically saved. If you do a short training like this one, you can save it by pressing the right button or discard it by pressing the lower left button. Now, let's take a look at the app. Okay, so this is what you will see when you go into the Polar apps, basically into your here, the diary. You will see your totals of the day. So actually you can see that I made that walking, that 8.5 kilometers walking in 1 hour and 32 minutes. And I can see also my sleep. So if I go inside sleep, I see how much time was light, deep, and REM, how many minutes in interruption. You can have a lot of data here. I think this part is really, really well made and fun to look at. If you go into activity, you will have, and this will be for just right now, so you can see it for today, how much time you were active. Actually, it's not really interesting because I was not wearing the watch, but you can also see your totals of the week and of the month. Basically, this will tell you, maybe that's more interesting. If the month will be the last 30 days, it will tell you how much time you were in high intensity, how much time medium, low, sitting, resting, and well, not wearing it. So yeah, it's a very, very well done page. You can start an activity on the phone. I don't really see the point when you have a watch. You can have access to the calendar to see all of your activity of every day here and see all those information. You can have access to your sleep tracking, but we have seen it a little bit earlier. Let's come back here. Yeah, well, yes, it's the same information we have seen. And I think the most important part of that app will be the sport profiles. So if you want to modify something into the data fields, example for the walking mode, here I can change the data fields I will see inside the watch. So actually see there is those for information, and I can change it by taking another one. But I made a full video about that. You can see it just right here. So yes, I think it's pretty much that's it for how to use the Polar Critics Pro. So, this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps. If yes, please smash the like button. If you are planning to buy this watch, you can see my link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can find me back easily next time you need help. If you want to see my other tutorial about this watch, you can see my playlist just right here. And you can also find me on my main channel just right there. Thank you for watching. Take care and see ya.